Hey everyone, I am back from Amsterdam, back from the Urban Sketchers Symposium that happened there last week. So today I'm going to show you the sketches that I have made while I was there. By the way, my voice may sound a bit different because I have some flu. I rested one whole day yesterday. Today I'm better, good enough at least to make this video. So this is the sketchbook that I brought to Amsterdam. This is a customized sketchbook with Lana aquarelle paper. The paper is 100% cotton watercolor paper and it performs really well. So I have some official stickers from the event. I think it's a very good idea to make some stickers to hand out to other sketchers so that when you pass the stickers to them, they can stick it onto their sketchbooks. So you can have your contact information, you can have some drawings. You can also make name cards, but I think stickers would be a better idea. Alright, so notice the first page is blank. I am probably going to draw something relating to Amsterdam on the first page. Maybe a scene of the city from the top using the Google Maps with the help of Google Maps. Area imagery. So these are the items that I brought along. I brought one backpack, and when it comes to bring all the items back, I collected a lot of art supplies. Many of the art supplies are in the goodie bags, and there was a faculty tour to Royal Talents and they gave us some goodie bags as well. So this backpack was not enough to contain, was not big enough to hold all the items, so I had to go and find some cardboard box to throw all the items inside. Which leads me to this tip that I'm going to give you. If you are a very light packer, you can consider bringing along a flat cardboard box that you can open up to fill with stuff later on. That's what I'm going to do for such large sketching events in the future. I'm going to bring a flat cardboard that I can open up to use. And for the watercolor, this is the box that I brought along. So in one of the earlier videos I mentioned that I wanted to replace permanent brown, but it turned out during this trip permanent brown was one of the colors that I use most often, surprisingly. I use this with burnt sienna to get a mix of browns that I used to paint the brick houses in Amsterdam. I didn't use phthalo green much. I didn't use phthalo green much. I realized that with sap green and phthalo blue, I can create a color that's very similar to phthalo green. So maybe phthalo green is the color I need to take out. This is the first sketch that I sketched on location. So on the first day I was there, I had some free time to myself. This is one of the sketches I drew during my free time. This is Mount Torrent, the tower with a very beautiful clock right up there, built in 1620. And there were a lot of tourists, a lot of cyclists around, maybe 3 to 4 times more than what I have drawn here. So it's really crowded, it's packed with activities. This is one of their many canals, and this building here, this is the Allard Pearson Museum. So I mentioned while I was sketching this, while I was seated along the canal, someone was smoking weed or something, and I accidentally inhaled some. So I realized that there are a lot of people who like to smoke along the canal. So everywhere I go, I try to avoid sitting too close to the people, especially where there is shade. You may think that, oh, hey, there is this shade from the tree, so I should sit there. Chances are a lot of people will have the same idea. They'll go and sit at the same place, so it's going to get crowded. So a little anticipation, if you have a little anticipation, you can avoid sitting where all the crowds are. But if you do not have a portable stool, then you won't be able to sit anywhere. And the scenes along the canals are really beautiful. This is Zuideker. This is the main venue for the symposium, and this is really tall. So I was quite close to this tower, and to look up and draw it's very tiring, and this is very complicated. So here my sketch is very loose. Anyway, it was towards the end of the day, so I was really tired. I wanted to draw this very quickly and just go back to rest. And now the pronunciation for this, well, the Dutch may use the same English alphabets, but sometimes the pronunciation may be a bit different. Sometimes they have the double A, sometimes they have double E's. Yeah. So this is also Zuiderzee from the side. So this is the tower that I drew, and this is the side. And this church was is located around residential blocks, and it's not very crowded here. The street that is behind these blocks very crowded, but not here. This is New Market. There is actually a very beautiful building that looks like some castle on the right side, but this was drawn during during lunch. So the view that I had is this view, so I just drew this. These are some drawings of boats, and I kind of like them. There are a lot of boats along the canal. Some are actually houseboats, many are tourist boats. They come in all different shapes and sizes. You can actually make a whole book just by drawing the boats. There is enough variety. This is another one of the canals, and there is a bridge here that goes over. Now this was sketched really quickly, probably again at the end of the day when I was really tired. I didn't draw a lot of details. And while drawing this, I overheard from the tour guides on the boats that Rembrandt's building, the building that Rembrandt stayed at, it's behind me. So that's how I learned about Rembrandt's house. These are the many residential blocks. I wanted to draw the top because I really like the shapes of the tops. And this brown, this is permanent brown, mixed with maybe a bit of burnt sienna. Many of these houses have this horizontal beam that comes out with a hook that's used for hoisting furniture up. In the past, I believe they used this to hoist some goods into the house, which are probably warehouses, but now they have been converted into residential houses, and the buildings, they are really narrow. The doors are very narrow, so some of the furniture may not be able to get through the door. So that's why they have those hooks there. And this was mixed with permanent brown and phthalo blue. You can get a pretty nice neutral black. And if you want to get something really dark, you can add more permanent brown and phthalo blue. You can get something like black very quickly. This was drawn at Marina Grachanek's workshop. There are many fabulous workshops during the symposium, and each participant can only attend 3, one on each separate day. And the workshops happen in the morning. In the afternoon, there are the demos, so you can attend one workshop in the morning, one demo in the afternoon, and it's actually there is a lot to learn. So to learn through the 3 days, I personally don't think it's enough, but it's a very intensive sketching symposium. So if you're there to learn, you definitely learn a lot, but I do recommend you check out the workshop listing to find the names of the instructors so that you can go check out their websites, because some of those instructors, they are really good. I highly recommend you go check out their work. I will put the listing of their workshops in the video description below. This is another view from the canal. This is overlooking some houseboats. Some of these houseboats, they are quite wide, like several buildings wide. But the buildings, of course, are very narrow, so the boats, by comparison, are wider. And the houses, they are not very tall. In fact, this is one of the taller houses I I saw there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-story house. Another sketch from the canals. This has a bridge and the sunlight was coming in this direction. Many of my sketches, they are very loose, because another reason for drawing very loosely, because it was really hot, so there was a heat wave hitting Europe during that particular week, so the temperature was quite high, and I just wanted to draw very quickly and go hide under some shade, some darker shade. While drawing this, this guy here was smoking something beside me. Thankfully, he was seated a bit further away, so I don't have to inhale like a lot of smoke. And he kept dozing off while smoking. These two are houseboats, and these two boats are just parked on the canal in front of the opposite street. This is the Nemo Science Museum. We were supposed to take the group photo on top of the museum. You see all these little dots here, they are actually people, and there are a lot of people there. So in the end, the organizers decided to just take the photo on the ground level in front of the museum, which I think is a better choice, because otherwise all those sketchers would have to travel all the way up here and then find out that there is actually no space to take a photo. And at this harbor, there are a lot of very long houseboats. Probably houseboats, because I don't see any marketing material on the side, so they are not tourist boats and they don't look like the typical sailboat with the sail, so they are probably houseboats. This is another scene drawn from the same harbor. I actually like this sketch a lot. Drawing boats, it's always very fun because of the lines. Sometimes the lines can go down this direction, sometimes it's this direction, and when you reach the front of the boat, the lines will turn its direction again. So it's very challenging, very fun to draw. I like this sketch. This is the Royal Palace of Amsterdam. So this was drawn during my last day in Amsterdam, which was a Sunday, and the square in front of the palace packed with loads of tourists. And this building is very impressive, it's really huge. And this building, well, I wrote the name as Manga Plaza. Well, it's actually not Manga Plaza. I made a mistake. The building is called Magna Plaza. I think you can see why I made that mistake. So I'm going to correct this spelling mistake with the help of this correction pen later on. Anyway, this is one of the sketches that I like as well. It's very loose, but you can see the shape, the beautiful shape of this building, as well as this other beautiful building on the right side, which is orange in color. It's very crowded as well, and there were a lot of trams going through the front. This is drawn right in front of the Amsterdam Palace, the Royal Palace. This is the National Monument. This is to remember World War II. And again, a lot of people right here at the square here. This is Amsterdam Central, the train station that I arrived at on the first day. So the trains, they are actually just behind. The front of the train station is really beautiful. I think we don't build train stations like this nowadays. It's all the very modern looking train stations, but this one, the old school train stations, they look really nice. This is Church of St. Nicholas. This is a huge cathedral, or a church cathedral probably, located in front of the train station across the canal. And the people in front of this cathedral, they are very small by comparison. Even the houses, those narrow houses, they are also very small by comparison. So this is quite an impressive sight to see. And the sky, it was really cloudy. And earlier on, did I mention that there was a heat wave going on in Europe? So while drawing many of the sketches, some of the looser ones are actually the ones where I just want to quickly just draw the sketch and go hide in some shade. Well, I was under shade, but I want to hide in like deeper shade. So on the last day, on the last 2 days, the temperature actually changed quite drastically. Instead of the clear blue skies, now the skies, they are cloudy and it looks like it's going to rain, but thankfully it didn't rain. So I was able to complete this sketch. And this is the last sketch in the sketchbook. While traveling back to my hotel, while sketching this, I met Paul and Rob Sketcherman. So they were going to the harbor to sketch, so I decided to just tag along to draw the last sketch in this sketchbook, and this is it. For the first few days while I was in Amsterdam, the weather was really hot and the watercolor dried very quickly. But on this particular day, the watercolor took a longer time to dry. And while I was painting over areas that I thought was dry, it's actually still wet. So there are some unexpected color bleeding where I don't want. So yeah. When painting watercolors, you do need some patience, and when you are painting dry, if you want to paint dry, if you want sharp lines, you have to be careful and check whether or not the paint or the surface is actually dry. This is a sketchbook that is filled with wonderful memories, not just of sketches, but really memories of me drawing with my friends, or me sitting along the canals and sketching, observing the weather, the people, just the city. Yeah, so in the future, when I look back at this again, all these memories will come flooding back, which is what I like about urban sketching, because it's not really just about drawing, it's about experiencing the place. And when you're drawing, when you're documenting or drawing scenes that you see, you remember much better. This is, I think, a better form of travel compared to taking photographs, at least personally for me. Alright, so thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!